My father had an heart attack. My mother was sick in her deathbed. I was blessed with the second child. 9 months down the line, we identified that he is an autistic child. All that I did was only cry. The natural advice everyone gave me was to take a break and take care of the family. This is exactly where every Indian woman breaks today. All my dreams were shattered. I'm 50 years old, of which 25 years I've been a CA. 5 years prior to that, I studied to become a CA. But initial 20 years of my life, I aspired to be a doctor. Surprising again, right? That's a twist in my story. Let me tell what happened. I'm Andan, born and brought up in Chennai. I'm from an average middle class family. I was born as a third girl child of my parents. Of course, they were expecting a boy. From a young age, I've been very studious, and my passion and ambition is to become a doctor. Naturally, for becoming a doctor, 10th, 11th and 12th standard marks are very critical. During that period, my entire focus and attention has gone into my family. My father had an heart attack. My mother was sick in her deathbed and she recovered. My entire time and energy has gone into my family, and I scored only 80% in my 12th standard. My entrance examination marks were also not that great to get me admission in government medical college. Private medical colleges were not affordable for us. All my dreams were shattered. I was completely lost. I was not having any clue as to what I will do next. But one thing I was really clear inside my mind is that I will become a professional. I never wanted to give up. I explored all the other opportunities that are available, like lawyer, cost accountant, company secretary, and finally I decided to become a CA. I went and told my dad I wanted to become a CA. He said, no way. Even BCom, MCom graduates find it really difficult to clear CA, and you have no background of commerce. It's better you do BSc. You will do well in life. But I don't want to buy that. I was very clear that I will become an auditor. Coming from a traditional Indian family, I always had an outlook that doctor, engineer, lawyer, and auditor are the noblest of the profession one could do. And this is the outlook in which I have grown up in my life. So I wanted to be part of that elite group. Then only I will be recognized, is the understanding I had in my mind. So I was very clear that I have to become a CA. Nowadays it is not so. In any profession you can excel well, but those days this was a reality. I literally fought with my dad to say that I will become CA. Finally, he agreed on one condition, that along with CA, I have to do some other degree. I can understand his thought. At least at the end of 3 years, if not CA, at least I will become a graduate. This was his thought, and I respected that. I decided to do both. I registered myself for CA Foundation, and then I joined BA English Literature in an evening college. Why evening college? I felt that the entire morning I can dedicate for studying CA. After a year, I failed very terribly in CA Foundation, while I did very well in my college. Throughout my life, I have been class topper. I do not know what is called failure in my education, but first ever time in CA Foundation, I failed miserably and I could not take that. But this failure made me much stronger. and I decided that I will become a CA. I keep telling my kids as well as my team members, the failure should never define you. It should only help you grow. Every one of us face failures in life. But what is important is learn from it and move on. 2 years later, I completed my BA English Literature and I stood first in college. Then I enrolled myself for CA Inter directly. My goal was very, very clear that I will clear my CA Inter and final in first attempt. And I worked for it exactly the same way I did it. 3 years down the line, I was a chartered accountant. I felt so proud. My parents were immensely happy and they felt very proud of me. I felt so high. We always think, what next? I also had my ambition to be part of a big organization. I had 3 offers on hand, two of which is from a manufacturing industry outside Chennai. And one was in the banking industry, it was within Chennai. Naturally, of being a girl, the limitations, my parents did not allow me to go outside Chennai. I had to take up the job in Chennai. It was 24 when I started working. I started my career as a banker. I was doing well, and for any Indian family, the girl has to get settled down at that age. I did the same. I got married. I was blessed with a baby girl, and my life was very happy. But at the same time, huge challenges were mounting on my head. To handle family, my daughter, and my professional life was very difficult for me. Late working hours, business travels, targets, all this had put a lot of pressure on my work-life balance. The natural advice everyone gave me was to take a break and take care of the family. This is exactly where every Indian woman breaks today. But I never wanted to break at that situation. I wanted to be a mother, I wanted to be a wife, and I wanted to be a woman working and having her career. I was very clear in it, and I readjusted my priorities with a lot of support from my family, my father, my mother, and my husband. I could continue to work. I thank all of them for that. Few years later, we shifted to Mumbai. I was blessed with the second child, baby boy. We were a perfect family, and I was a chief manager then. Lot of happiness comes with lots of responsibilities. I had to manage in Mumbai with no much support, my kids, my professional life, and my family. 9 months down the line, I felt that something was wrong with my son. While all his physical milestones were in order, something was wrong with him. My intuition was saying that there is something wrong because I felt a lot of emotional disconnect with him. There was no eye contact, there was no meaningful play, and I could not find mother-child bonding. While all in my family said that boys normally have their milestones delayed, but I could not buy that point. I was restless from inside that something is really wrong with my child and I have to attend to it. My mind kept on saying this. At his 1.5 years, I got all his senses tested, but they were in order. Still, I had my daughter, and this is my second child. I could make out that still something is wrong. It calls for an action. With countless visits of doctors, we identified that he is an autistic child. 3 months after that, all that I did was only cry. I had a lot of questions in my mind. Why me? What wrong I did in my life? Why God has given me this punishment? But after lot of questions and cribbing like this, I realized all this is not going to work. Somewhere I have to move on and be ready to take up this difficult journey. I had two options in life. One, to crib, cry, complain, and move on. Another is to take charge of the situation, work for your child, and do all that you can do. Then rest is with God. I said that I will take complete responsibility of my child and I will move on from here. There is no looking back because I'm responsible for him. I have to make him a meaningful child. After that, I did all the research that I have to do. I went to Chennai. I inquired about autism and what are all the things that we have to do after a child is diagnosed as autistic. Then I came back to Bombay. There also I did the same thing. Finally, I decided Mumbai had better resources, even though my domestic support system is weak. I decided to continue in Mumbai. I wanted to equip myself so that I can take charge of the situation. I studied about autism. I joined and enrolled myself for a course. Then I enrolled myself for a parent training program because there is no point in letting my child with somebody and then expecting that my child would get better. I have to work on it. So I enrolled myself for a parent training program. Then I put him into a special school. I hired 24/7 domestic support driver. Then I started with my journey. I put him into therapy sessions. The journey wasn't easy. It was very difficult. I readjusted my entire calendar, my lifestyle, in order to help him. In the process, I learned that 48 hours of therapeutic intervention is required weekly for my son to get better, and his daily living has to be therapeutic in nature. All that I learned, I started doing in my life. All my calendars, my working style, my lifestyle completely changed to suit his needs. Even at that point of time, I was very, very clear that I'm not going to give up in my career. I have to do both. I continued in that journey. It was a difficult journey. I always wanted to be perfect in life, and I thought I'm perfect. But this journey made me realize I'm not perfect. My people skills were bad. I was very dominant, very authoritative, and I was never accommodative. And I used to take pride on what I do. All of this never make you a good leader. But this journey of me facing challenges day in and out in every small thing to the big thing made me a better person. I became more empathetic, accommodative. I became very comfortable for anybody. I became more people person. All this helped me to grow in my organization as well. Today I'm part of leadership team in a very big private sector bank. This was possible only because of the changes I have done to myself to become a more people person, a better human being. I've lived this life for 15 years now. My son is in grade 7. He is definitely independent to take care of himself with minimum support. He knows 3 languages. He speaks. Today I feel, even though it was a difficult journey, we had passed by almost 15 years in that. And in the process, I became a better person. So, the best in you comes out in your most difficult times. This is what I realized in my life. And my journey continues with my son till he becomes completely independent. I'm a BA English Literature. I'm an FCA. I've completed my JIIB, CAIIB. I'm a certified Ind AS professional. I've done my LLM from XLRA. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and I'm a mentor. This is not me bragging. This is for you who was watching this, to make you understand that with lot of effort and dedication and hard work and with kindness, you can land on moon if you truly want to be. I succeeded in my life not because I was perfect. It's because I was persistent. I never gave up. I've always assumed a responsibility in whatever I did. One thing I have consistently followed in my professional life, I never delegate anything to my team if I cannot do that. That makes me always confident and I can see through the results. I considered myself a CEO of everything I did and everything I do. My hard work, my dedication, and my strong ethical background brought me where I am today. I thank all those people who supported me in my career, in my personal life, and to reach wherever I am. I'm grateful to myself for not having let my career go at any point of time. Today I feel a sense of achievement. It's only because of that. If I have compromised in my career any time, I would have cursed myself or I would have made somebody reason for not me becoming successful. In my opinion, if we believe, we can always achieve it. Half the battle is already won if we believe. And I believed in me. I've always grown with the limitation of being a girl. And every girl in India, I think, faces this. And the expectation from the society continues. Nowadays, it's changing, but the journey is very far away. This change is possible if me, you, and each one of us change our traditional look. It's my strong belief that the make of our gender should never decide our life. My message to whomever is watching is try to have a balance between your personal life and your professional life. What I did well, I feel, is I never brought my office to home and home to office. I had a clear demarcation and the expectations set in the minds of the people around me. That helped me immensely because I've been consistent with all of them. And I always had a long-term goal. So each one of you should have a goal and we need to work for that goal. Challenges will come, failures will come. What is important is how we consistently try and achieve it.